chasing frogs and climbing trees. He looked at me with a half-crooked grin, said, "You remind me of the boy I've been." With a voice like gravel and a soul like flame, he said, "I've lived more lives than I care to name." Then he leaned back slow in that old wood seat and said, "Let me tell you about Dead Rock Creek." Said I wasn't always old and gray. I once ran far from this place one day. Thought New Orleans was my promised land, with cards in my hand and a plan in the sand. He said, "Boy, I was wild like the river's bend, but every runaway meets his end. And if you're smart, you'll listen tight. Some truths come out in the moonlit night." He cast again and gave me a wink. "Now listen close, and don't you blink." Now listen close and Grandpa will tell you the tale of when I turned 16. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Wake up with the rooster, hands still sore from hay. Milk the cow and curse the frost, same as yesterday. Mama hums a gospel tune, Pa don't say a word. The plow cuts deep, the sun beats down, not a dreamer's world. Stacking bales and watching trains roll by in the heat, wondering where they're headed, wondering who they meet. I got a map inside my mind, drawn in dirt and steam. It always ends in New Orleans, lit up like a dream. Dead Rock ain't my grave, no it ain't where I'll die. I was born with wandering bones and fire in my eyes. Let them call me foolish, let them say I'll crawl, but I swear I'll leave this broken place the second I can walk tall. I seen the preacher's daughter sneak out dressed in lace. She says, "Someday you'll marry me." I say, "That ain't the case. Ain't no ring nor shotgun law can tie me to this land." When I turn 16, I'm heading south with nothing but my hands. Dead Rock ain't my grave, it's just where I was born, where dreams go dry and wagons rust and hearts get tired and worn. But I'll break free with the river wind and leave without a sound. Let the fields remember Silas, not the man that stuck around. I've been saving dimes from fixing fence and hauling feed. Got a bag beneath the floorboards and a prayer for what I need. Don't want no gold, just want a life that's bigger than this town, where the music plays past sundown and the lights don't all go out. Dead Rock ain't my grave, no it ain't got my name. There's a steamboat calling down the line and I'm leaving just the same. Let them drink to my departure, let them curse me for my pride. gonna come morning light, with the river as my guide. So when you hear that whistle blowing down by Devil's Bend, know I'm heading toward the Delta, and I won't be back again. I was born with dust in my boots, plowed and rose before I could read. Paul said, boy, this land's your blood, but I had other dreams. Tired of cows and stubborn mules, pitching hay at the county fair. Heard the river call my name like sin was in the air, was in the air. Sold my saddle for a satchel, kissed my dog goodbye. Took the old South Trail by moonlight, not a tear in my eye. Heard about a boat down in Cairo, bound for New Orleans. She was lit up like the devil's grin, they called her Delta Queen. And the devil rides the Delta Queen with whiskey on his breath. Cards and dice, painted lips, bullets dealing death. I took a job throwing coal below, sweating in that steam. But I was young and full of fight, with big New Orleans dreams. First night out I saw a fight, two gamblers went for steel. One got shot, the other laughed, tipped his hat with zeal. Ladies lounged like tigers near in velvet and perfume. One winked and said, you're far from home. I said, not far enough, my dear. The dealer had a twitchy hand, the preacher had a flask. A river rat showed me a knife and said, you'll learn, just don't ask. I shoveled coal and learned the ropes, slept behind the bar. Told myself I'd only ride till I could buy a Fender guitar. Yeah, the devil rides the Delta Queen, and he's got a crooked smile. He'll make you think you're winning big, then sink you in denial. But I had nothing left to lose, just sweat and dirt and steam. So I stoked the fire and fed the beast that runs on broken dreams. There's a price to pay for freedom, boy, it ain't in silver coins. It's in blood and blisters, bad decisions, and the trouble that it joins. But I was just a farmhand then, now I'm a man in flame. The river don't forgive, it just forgets your name. Now Elijah, boy, you listen close when that wanderlust comes round. The queen still runs in stories, but she's buried many down. Don't chase that devil riding fast unless you're ready to be mean, 'cause I was never the same again after riding the Delta Queen. Daylight down in the firebox, shoveling coal like sin. Sweat dripping off my collarbone, black smoke on my skin. By night I'd wash and head upstairs to where the whiskey gleams, where fortune spins and lies get told aboard the Delta Queen. Met a man they called Missouri Jack. He wore a crooked smile, taught me how to count the tells and stack the deck with style. Son, the cards ain't fair, and neither's life, so inside. I ain't the same old farm boy clean. I grew teeth on the Delta Queen. I saw cheaters thrown off decks, drunks get stabbed for less. One night a man was shot mid-hand for calling out a guess. The lady dealers wore perfume that smelled like sweet deceit. But I learned to smile and take my licks, never miss a beat. I played a drunk from Baton Rouge, he thought I was still green. But I took his silver and his boots, best hand I'd ever seen. The Queen kept rolling south each night, New Orleans drawing near. And I started dreaming bigger dreams with every mile in beer. Yeah, the river rolls and the stakes get high where bluffs and bullets both can fly. I learned to hide my tails and grin, to lose with grace and cheat to win. No longer wide-eyed, raw or keen, I got slick on the Delta Queen. There's a rhythm to the river and a rhyme to the game. And once you hear them both enough, they start to sound the same. That boat became my schoolhouse and the cards became my creed. And I was more than just a runaway, I was built for speed. As the gas lights of the quarter rose and the paddle slowed its spin, I stood there on the upper deck and let the city pull me in. Slick suit, clean boots, gambler stare, and nerves washed in caffeine. I tip my hat to the mighty beast, long live the Delta Queen. Yeah, the river rolls and so did I, with lessons burned behind my eye. No more boy with dreams too wide, just a man with luck and time to ride. Oh, more than I can ever glean, to the fire of the Delta Queen. Now New Orleans waits beneath the moon, and I'll be dealing trouble soon. I stepped off that steamer with calloused hands and pride, found a room above a brothel where the saints don't dare reside. I took to cards and whiskey like a preacher takes to sin. Every hand was dealt with fire, every night a game to win. There was a man named Jesse Duval, slick with silver rings, ran a backroom game on Bourbon where the devil pulls the strings. He said, you got the look of hunger, son, I'll let you try your fate. But the house don't like a winner, and I raised a bit too late. Now there's blood on Bourbon Street and a bounty on my name. I left two men lying cold, but I ain't the one to blame. They pulled steel first, I shot to live. That's how the story goes. But the law don't care who started it when the red wine flows. The shadows of the moon, pistol in my coat. Jesse's boys came after me, said I'd cut the devil's throat. A girl named Clara patched me up down near the bayou line. She kissed my cheek and whispered low, you best be gone by 9. The crows were screaming on the wire, the air was thick and still. That street remembers every step of those I had to kill. house and someone hits the ground. Yeah, there's blood on Bourbon Street, and it stains more than the bricks. It stains the hands, it stains the soul, and damn, it stains you quick. I ain't no hero, ain't no saint, but I ain't turned out a ghost. Just a dead rock boy with dead men's names who haunts the Gulf Coast. Yeah, there's blood on Bourbon Street, where mercy meets its sin, where every smile's a loaded bluff and every deal pretends. I came looking for a better life, found guns instead of grace. Now I carry more than memory, I carry their face. Yeah, there's blood on Bourbon Street, and some of it's still mine. I left two men bleeding on a Bourbon floor, a pistol in my waistband, boots slick with war. Sheriff's boys were hunting and the stakes were tight, so I vanished like a ghost into the moonlit night. I ran to the docks with a prayer on my breath, hoping the Delta Queen hadn't left. But that paddle wheeler, she was gone with the wind. Just smokestack shadows and the scent of sin. Now I'm riding fast and laughing mad, with a six-gun smile and a past gone bad. Thought New Orleans was a dream I had, but dead men don't dream and the law's gone mad. I used to spit on that little farm pad, but maybe dead rock ain't so bad. I stole a bay mare from a drunk near the pier. She kicked like hell, but she got me clear. I got $40 and a deck of lies, a map in my mind and blood in my eyes. I'm heading north with the sheriff on my tail, cheating gamblers in river towns, leaving every jail. With whiskey breath and a borrowed name, trying to outrun guilt and a murder flame. Yeah, I'm riding hard and sleeping rough, playing poker for food when the nights get tough. The devil deals and the angels scout, but I ain't dead yet, and I'm still bad. And hell, dead rock ain't so bad. I used to curse that dusty field, said I'd trade it all for a gambler's deal. But now I see the peace I had in the morning fog and my old man's plan. Now it's knives and boots and cards and sleeves, and trusting no one who smiles with ease. The queen is gone and so's my pride, but there's still a long damn road to ride. So I'm heading home with a wanted name. Got 1,000 stories and a world of blame. And maybe the porch light won't look so sad when I limp up slow like the prodigal lad. I swore I'd never miss what I once had, but damn, dead rock ain't so bad. Now I hear there's bandits near the Arkansas line, a preacher with a prize and a girl with a sign. The law's closing in and my horse ain't fast, but I got one more trick and a hand to cast. And hell, dead rock ain't so bad.
sun dipped low past the sycamore trees. Grandpa packed up slow, said that's enough for me. We'd only caught a couple, but that was fine. The stories caught more than the fish this time. He said this town's small, the days move slow, but you'll miss that rhythm when you go. Dead Rock ain't got much shine or spree, but son, it feels like home to me. Yeah, the road runs wide and the world runs fast, but some dreams fade and some don't last. Be careful what you chase or what you flee, 'cause even the wild wind needs a place to be. Dead Rock feels like home to me. He lit a match and tapped his pipe, said someday, boy, when the time feels right, I'll tell you stories about that long ride back from New Orleans with the law on my track. Yeah, there's things I've done and truths I've found when I thought I was lost but came back round. And not all treasures made of gold. Sometimes it's just growing old. Yeah, the road runs wide and the world runs fast, but some things break and some things last. Don't wish too hard to be wild and free. You might end up somewhere you don't want to be. Dead Rock feels like home to me. Come on, boy, it's getting late. The fish will wait, but supper won't. And when you're a little older, I'll tell you what happened next.